Hi, this is Dr. Duncan, and wanted to take a few minutes to kind of go through the chapters with you and highlight a few things to help you prepare for your final exam. I'm not going to go over every single thing that might be on there. I'm just going to try to point you to things not to miss, kind of how to get ready. All right, so I'm going to start with chapter 2 because it has very foundational terms and the things you would need, and I've kind of put this in somewhere already, is that go back and find the quizzes, right, and review that material. If you're not certain about it, go back and find your PowerPoint, right? I would suggest take the time to look over the PowerPoint um, instead of, sitting through the lecture again, okay? So you can just click down on the arrow like this. You can skim down and if you're not sure again what key concepts, well, there you go. They're on the quiz, but they're usually highlighted here. So this page has the key ones that we have been talking about throughout the semester. And then it takes the four major ones, artistic form, and kind of focuses on that. There's always some application. You'd have to watch the video if you're like, oh, I didn't really pay attention to that. Well, find that spot in the video and listen to that and participation and how they're kind of connected. But then content, which is the meaning of it. Okay, the meaning of it. What's it trying to convey? What idea? And then, well, what did it focus on? What is it that the content is interpreting? So it was something valuable or something of importance that they decided to write about, create a song about, paint, or sculpt, right? And it's not just the thing you see, it's more than that. It's become to have something more. That's why the subject matter is not just the flower or just the person. It's been transformed by the artistic form, which is unique to each genre. All right, so that is really key. So that's foundational. And what kind of goes with that, I would review, is where we talked about it a little bit later on chapter 4. We applied it to painting. Now, of course, painting has its own set of terms, and it will help you to have the book. But if you're familiar with these terms already, it'll help you move through and spend time where you need to instead of wasting a lot of time hunting through the book. Okay, it's there because I'm going to ask you, like I did in the midterm, to reference specific things, and I'm not expecting you to memorize the book, like every painting name and title, and be able to memorize the image. Okay, so get in key thing. Look at the red. The red words are the key terms. There is always examples, and the PowerPoint or the video, is where I went through it. The media is not really as important as, and we haven't emphasized as much as the elements of painting. This is the artistic form, and there were tons of these terms in painting. And then we saw how in photography they borrowed from that for photography, creating open and closed lines with focus. Then you've got the texture and composition ones, and we went into more detail with that here with perspective, linear perspective, making further away things look smaller, so it perceives depth or eye does. A little bit about abstract, representational, and some examples of impressionist. So everything I would go through, and instead of trying to watch all the videos, like I said, unless there was an explanation that you need more of, and then go to the quizzes and the discussions. So that this quiz, it's not so much the media as it is making sure you know the terms, and then of course the questions that I ask highlight key information from that. And in this case, this was our first application, so I would go and review your own response and my feedback to that, other students, what they did, especially if you notice that they noticed, that's perception, things that you didn't, and had the ideas about them that you didn't, because we're trying to improve that. So expect to see this kind of of questions and application on the exam. We've been doing that throughout the semester. Okay, chapter 5 is sculpture, same kind of thing. Go back and review the PowerPoint, see how we applied that to the sculptures, but make sure you check through and are pretty good with quiz answers there. Um, the paintings project is not something you would need to review, okay? Literature, again, same thing, PowerPoint videos. The week 6 discussion was application, but not as specific as, I would say the quiz is more important here, okay? They'll open up in a minute, you have to click on them, but go through there and review those, okay? Remember, we had poetry, but we had quest narrative. Make sure you review those PowerPoints. And if you go, ooh, I don't remember what that is, go into and study that a little bit more just so you have a understanding. Because there'll be questions from, I try to have questions from every chapter, but I try to highlight the key things here. Again, for theater, we had to go quickly. So there's the quiz there. The videos there were just supplemental enrichment. I'll make sure that there's a PowerPoint in there. I'm pretty sure there is. I made sure you had the PowerPoints so you could just review those instead of sitting through the whole video. Quizzes are key here with the types of questions, okay? More like this one, the term for a sound that has one definite frequency, the playing of one or more motives, themes, or melodies against each other is called, that kind of thing, those key concepts. Not trying to memorize everything. I don't try to find questions on content that we didn't already, have. I may ask you a question, theoretical or philosophical or application that, is new, but not, terms. And then just recently we did photography, so the PowerPoint is in there. The quiz is key on that one. Same for cinema. The quiz is going to be the most helpful in reviewing the PowerPoint. And then chapter 16. Okay, so that just a guide a little bit from my perspective to you to kind of how and what to look for in here. So always quizzes, and I highlighted a couple of the discussion boards, particularly the one in the paintings chapter in week 3 for application of that. And then, yeah, just a kind of a general takeaways and things. But the use of the book is really for you to reference specific selections of art when you have essay type questions and you're asked to talk about art in a specific way. Okay. All right. Well, that's hopefully, that will help you know how to be prepared well. And if you've been engaged in, you still need to refresh. If you got your book, you can have the comfort of knowing you can look up things you're uncertain about. But again, don't go in cold. Go in with a good understanding of what you're supposed to know by reviewing those quizzes and those PowerPoints for anything you're not certain of. And then even more so, if a concept you don't know how to discuss in there, like you didn't do that discussion board or didn't do it well, go and watch the videos.